Are you interested in learning how to code, but you don't have a computer science degree? No worries, because in this video, I'm going to share with you how I was able to pay off $30,000 in debt while learning how to code in 6 months and turn my life around. If I can do it, you can do it. Let's set the stage. So I was going to the Harvard of Arizona State University, if you know, you know, and I was on my way to graduate. I only had 1 semester left, but the financial office brought me in and they said, Caleb, you're doing great. You're on track to graduate, but your loans didn't cover your tuition last year. And so what we ended up doing was enrolling you anyways, but now you owe us $30,000. And for you to finish school, you have to pay off at least $25,000 to resume. Yo, what the fuck, man? I was in $30,000 in debt, had no degree, no tech skills, and I needed to turn this around within 6 months. Not finishing wasn't an option. So this is February, and I hit up my mentor, we go to happy hour, and I'm crying my eyes out because I'm trying to think, how am I gonna pay off this debt so I can go back to school? So my mentor said, in the calmest voice possible, if you learn how to code, you can change your life forever. And the reality was I was desperate. 4 years of college clearly wasn't working, so let's do something else. So step 1 was I needed to believe in myself. I was in a real bad situation, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And if you don't believe you can actually accomplish something, you're probably right. I was in a bad situation, guys. I owed $30,000 and I barely knew how to do anything. I needed to get a skill, I needed to solve a problem, and I needed to do it fast. But I needed to believe this could happen to me. So if you're sitting there thinking you're not smart enough, it's too hard, you're playing yourself. You can do this. All right, so step number 2, let's be a little bit more practical. I needed to learn the fundamentals. So I needed to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And for me, I really love Team Treehouse. Not sponsored by them by any means, but what I liked about them was the courses, the layout, the tutorials, the project, the gamification. It was something that I enjoyed going to learn more each and every day. And if you're in the same situation where you're trying to learn how to code, you need to find a resource that works for you. Be it Udemy, Pluralsight, Codecademy, whatever it is, pick one, stick with it, and stick with it for at least 3 to 6 months. So step number 3, understand coding is only a skill. You need to learn how to use that skill to solve problems. So back in that time, WordPress was hot. Everybody needed a website, a blog, an e-com store. So I was able to learn that platform and more or less work with clients who needed that help. But fast forward to today, it's artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, plugins, automation. So remember, tech skills are like superpowers. It's a cheat code. You do something once, you can sit back and chill. So step number 4, a lot of people will tell you how to code, what to learn, what the order you should learn things in. No one ever talks about how you can make money coding. My advice to you right now is focus on solving a problem. And what I ended up doing was I knew I wanted to work on websites and I knew WordPress was a thing I was going to try to capitalize on. But I didn't go for the big players right away because I didn't have a portfolio, I didn't have any experience. So start with your internal circle. Add friends, family, ask them if there's something you can do in exchange for money, of course. Start building projects, because what that ended up doing for me was start building my portfolio, but also building my confidence. So I started off small and then I went to the big players. All right, so step number 5 is more of a realization than anything, but I realized that yes, I knew how to code barely, but I needed to find a way to sell and meet clients and close on deals. And when you're talking about working with clients, 3 things really came to heart. Clients are mean, clients are rude, and clients are going to say no. Take that L and keep it moving. It is okay for a lot of people to say no to you. You only need a few people to say yes. And when I finally got those people to say yes, then there was a whole bunch of other challenges that I ran into. I'll be 100% with y'all. I took on some projects I could not do. I overpromised, underdelivered multiple times, but I was always willing to try to work it out, try to go the extra mile, stay communicative. The things I try to be good at, and the things I sucked at, I would just ask for patience, give me opportunity to show that I can do it. And luckily, I was decent at networking. So I would go to these meetups to go meet other developers, other freelancers, and I can't tell you what they did for me. I was able to meet people who more or less were doing what I was doing, but they just been doing it longer and are better at it. So when I was able to find a client who I'm like, this guy's gonna pay us $7,000 to make his website for his real estate business, but we have to do it in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and he wants to integrate it with this other POS system. I didn't know how to do all that. I tapped the shoulder of the people I met. So like those networking events actually worked out because I was more or less able to tap into my network, go to people who I knew had the skills that I didn't have, and give them a proposal. Look, I'll give you a cut of this deal if you can help me integrate this piece of it. That worked out for me. And I was able to do that about 2 or 3 times to the point where you're like, holy crap, I'm truly collaborating with other people, which is a true development experience. And we're working on real life projects that are challenging, difficult, but rewarding once they were done. All right, so I made a lot of mistakes going through this journey. From February to about June, July time, like we were getting clients, we were kind of rolling, but made a lot of mistakes. Mistake number 1 was I didn't ask for enough money. I was asking for anywhere from like $1,500 to $3,000, and I had 1 or 2 clients who paid up to $5,000 to $7,000. But at the end of the day, these were businesses who were making millions of dollars. So like $10,000 from them really wasn't much. They were just cheap, and they were trying to take advantage of me because I more or less didn't have a lot of experience. It's just kind of how it goes. But 1, I should have asked for more money. 2, I should have like offered some type of maintenance program, because when you deliver a product in tech, you want to kind of have the relationship, because they're probably gonna come back to you. Hey, can you update the website? Can you change the features, the images? I don't know how to do that. I don't want to do it. And like I was doing it for free. And looking back on that, I probably should have offered some type of like 6-month support, 12-month support, and then move on and find a way to just capitalize on that every ad hoc request you would get down the road. Number 3 would be, I feel like I should have been more ambitious, because at first I was doing this out of desperation. But once we started seeing like the ball rolling, I was thinking to myself, like, I'm always starting with like the local businesses, you know, your mom and pop shops, the local restaurant, the cookie spot, the ice cream parlor, places like that. But then I started realizing after I had like my first real estate client, I'm like, holy crap, some of these people have a lot of money. Maybe I should start targeting a better demographic so I can capitalize better. But by the time this was happening, I've already paid off my debt. I was able to make about $32,000. So I was able to pick up some video games, hang out with your boys, pay off this debt, go back to school. And the last thing was, I didn't have the vision. I did this out of necessity with the end goal to go back to college. And the second I paid off this debt, I kind of stopped. I was like, all right, cool. I did what I wanted to do. And then like I look back on this and I'm like, I was put in such a tough, difficult situation that, you know, pressures make diamonds. And I was like, dude, I'm more or less shaping into something. But I accomplished my goal, so I kind of let off the gas. So if I can go back, I could have kept going, building a business, and actually being an entrepreneur much sooner rather than later. But I was tunnel vision. I was like, my mom wants me to go to college, so I went to college. And now, how do I feel about college? That's a whole nother episode. All right, so 3 to 4 months, didn't know how to code, spent about 30, 40 hours Monday through Friday trying to learn the fundamental, trying to code. After about 3 to 4 months, knew enough to be dangerous. So then I started shifting my focus on trying to solve a problem. Found a problem, which was figuring out how do I make WordPress or new websites for small local businesses. Then I had to find the demographic, the market, the people who needed that problem to be solved. And then I just went and asked for the business. And it's as simple as that. Now, remember, a little luck can go a long way, and being persistent can also make a huge difference. If you like this content and you like these stories, hit that like button, leave a comment below what you know, what I should dive into further, and that's all I got for you guys. Check out.